After spending 5 years in the streets as a vendor, I realized that each man is in charge of whether they make it or break it in business. I've put together pragmatic business nuggets for entrepreneurs that have sustained me in the most uncertain economic times. Join me on this journey to impart this business wisdom to the movers and shakers. Together, let's build a strong network of entrepreneurs who break limits.
Greetings and welcome to Ask Jerry, the Chartered Vendor. This is the show where we get to discuss entrepreneurial insights and how you can grow and scale a business from scratch, particularly if you're operating in Zimbabwe. I have Jerry, the Chartered Vendor, and I'm Tamuka, your host for today's show. And we'll just get into it, Mr. Jerry. How have you been?
How are you doing, Chamuka?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm very, very fine. How's Zimbabwe and everything?
You know how Zimbabwe is. It's basically a kid and mouse race.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, maybe just to get into our show. We've actually been looking, especially for Zimbabwe, for 2022. We are now in the second month of 2022, and it's amazing because 32 days have actually passed since the year started.
Yeah, and we're left with almost 320 days.
Well, we're left with almost 320 days. So it actually means that once you find that when the year starts, everyone is actually going about the resolutions, and there's something that you actually say that people, they only maybe stay consistent for the first 2 weeks, and I think right now people are actually relaxed. So maybe to just kickstart our discussion for today, we're actually looking that some people had actually set targets to say that for 2022, this is what I want to achieve, and everything in between. And actually find that maybe for January, there are those people who are not currently on track towards achieving their objectives. What did you actually say to those? What do they need to do to get back on track?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Tamuka. What you're supposed to do, I think every day, the issue is what you're supposed to do each and every day, in the morning, in the evening. You should write your goals down. The major problem is most of the people, what we do now is we only write our goals when it's 31 December, when it's 1 January, or when it's the first week of a year, which is a problem. So we are supposed to write each and every day in the morning, write whatever you want to achieve. Work towards getting those goals done and making sure that what have you done in that day in order to achieve what you have set on your goals or on your targets. So this is what you are supposed to do each and every day. These goals, remind yourself, know where you're actually going. And the problem also is I believe we need to actually set those goals and make sure that we are always motivating ourselves. Whether through reading books, watching programs like this, if you're an entrepreneur, if someone who actually wish to be in business, or someone wants to be motivated, you also watch other programs which are there on YouTube. Follow people who are driving you where you want to go. I think you can achieve that. But when you start seeing yourself watching Z-World, whilst you want to be an entrepreneur, it doesn't work that way.
Which is true. And I recall something. There's actually something that Mdo would say, which actually it sparked a debate last month. And he actually said that you cannot really be successful if you know every series that is on Netflix. And it's something that actually sparked a lot of debate, because there are some people who are defending, and then there are others also who are supporting. I think basically.
That's true. Yeah, because you cannot be successful whilst you're following. I still remember this. I usually say it in my trainings that Jack Chan is rich, very rich, one of the most successful actors. When he was being interviewed, I think it was after acting Rush Hour. He got about $40 million, but he said, I haven't watched the movie. But he's the one who was the main actor in that movie. So I'll just give an example. Maybe the president, famous president. Do you think Joe Biden has got time to watch himself on news?
Definitely not.
Do you think even if I went to Akayende Chilema in Zambia, does he have time to watch himself on news? Definitely. Even our own president, he doesn't have time to watch himself on news. He's there to create news. So start creating news instead of you being sold on other people's news.
All right.
So what are you doing to create news today?
Yeah.
So Mdiwa Wood is absolutely right. If you know each and every movie on Netflix, you know each and every series, you know, what was it called? The famous one which came out, I think it was
Money Heist.
Money Heist. You see?
Bella Ciao.
Bella Ciao, people they even released the songs, you know each and every movie, you know each and every opera, you know Zeeword, you know. So I don't think, because a whole season, it's 10 hours of your life which you've wasted almost half a day.
Yeah.
If you multiply that into many days in a year, you're losing out. Exactly. So he's right. When you want, maybe, but when you want to be an actor, maybe when you want to be a journalist, yes, spend more time on television, spend more time on radio.
So you've heard it, folks. When you want to be an actor, that's when you actually spend time watching.
Or if
movies,
you want to be a socialite, follow the main socialites.
Exactly. And I was actually also thinking, was if you look at successful people, I think most of them, they don't have time. And one thing that you actually find is that Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, he has 24 hours.
Exactly.
Maybe Tamuga here in Zimbabwe, I also have 24 hours. But Elon Musk, I think he has built over 7 companies, $7 billion
companies
using the 24 hours that he actually has. And you actually find that sometimes you have to sacrifice those pleasures. Even Bill Gates, when he was building Microsoft, at one point he actually said that, you know what, I'm not going to watch TV until I have actually built this thing from the ground up. So it's something that takes sacrifices. And as you were speaking, there is actually something that you mentioned, especially when it comes to reading books.
Yeah.
So if I may ask, what's on your reading list for 2021? Because I know you've read a couple of books already.
I've done 6 books so far in 2022, and what I've decided to do, I'm just following Danny Kennedy.
Okay.
Yeah, I find his books are interesting. No BS. No BS series. Yeah. That's where I am right now. I'm just focusing on no BS. And also what I do, I've got good books, which I usually revise each and every month. For example, How to Be a Fierce Competitor by Jeffrey J. Fox. That one is for each and every entrepreneur. You must read that book. I have got 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. I've got How to Be a Rainmaker by Jeffrey J. Fox again. So those kind of books, Darren Hardy, Entrepreneurs Roller Coaster, those are the books which I revise. But for now, I just want to say I'm a Dan Kennedy fan right now. So I'm punching all the books. Right now I'm on, I think it's No BS social media marketing. I'm learning a lot. Because himself, he says he didn't even like social media. At one point, he didn't even use an email. He was using faxes. But he's there writing about social media. So that's where I am right now. And also to also support what you were saying, I have got 24 hours as Jerry. Elon Musk has got 24 hours. I think the biggest currency which we have right now is not money, it's not cash. Time is the biggest currency for a successful person, because they don't have time. And I've also said to myself, I think I started doing it in 2021. I said I'll never watch television. I don't watch television except maybe when I'm watching with my kids cartoons. Maybe just for 20, 30 minutes. That's what I do. Because I've noticed that watching television will not drive me to where I want to go. The vision, I want to be a strategic partner of each and every business in Africa, is not going to be achieved when I'm watching television, especially watching series and football. You know, you'll be watching Mbappe. I read, did you see the contract of Kylian Mbappe? He's earning something like, he's going to earn something like 82 million in a year at Real Madrid, which is something like, I think it's almost $5,000 in an hour. Yeah. So, who is selling to who? These guys are busy making money. You're watching grown-up men making money. So you're busy supporting people, making millions, whilst you are not making any money.
And it's interesting, especially when it comes to football. There is someone who actually said football is just a sport where you are watching 22 millionaires chasing after a ball.
Exactly. But these guys now, they are being paid to chase after that ball. How much are you going to be paid? Unless if you want to be a soccer player. Unless if you want to be a sportsman, yes, watch more football. You are learning skills. But if you are a businessman, busy following English Premier League, they even feel very offended if you say their teams, they don't know how to play soccer. And some of the people, they even feel that they own those teams. And the team Yangi Chelsea. I think you should think twice.
Yeah.
Because how much shares do you have in Chelsea?
Yeah, which is and also maybe just also look at the subject of football. There's something profound that Strife Masiwa said. Was on his page, there's this other day where he actually wrote that he doesn't watch football.
Yeah.
His only interest from football, but he knows the financials of every football team, especially on the business side. He knows how much profit or how much loss Manchester United has made.
Exactly.
So he studies those teams like from a financial perspective to say that, all right, what are the finances behind this particular team? The balance sheet for Chelsea, the balance sheet for Manchester United, how is it standing? But he actually said, no, I don't really watch.
I think of the 5 big teams, if I'm not mistaken, of the 5 big European leagues, I think they said only Bayern Munich made profit the last year. So these guys are in business, but we think that they are there to entertain us. But they're making billions, and you'll be surprised that the owners of these teams, they don't have time to watch football.
Exactly. Was to actually think that Ibrahimovic, the owner of Chelsea, is a billionaire in his own right. And sometimes I don't think he even finds the time to watch his team play.
Exactly.
Because he's busy like that.
So we need to have a change of mindset as we're getting into 2022. What I want to tell you is, please change that mindset, change your habits. You are never going to change your... If your revenue is not going to change, if you don't change your habits, if you don't change the way you are doing things, things are never going to change. So sometimes we are supposed to drop these kind of habits. If you're sleeping for 10 hours, my sister, my brother, start making them 8, start making them 9. If we're doing 8, you might start making them 6. I think I can live on 6. I can live on 5. What about you?
Which is interesting. I can go on 4. also to look at another thing, because you raised the issue of habits. I think habits, they're very, very important. And there's just clear. I think there's something that is said that is profound. To actually say that you really don't rise to the level of your knowledge or what you know, but you fall to the level of your systems.
Exactly.
And I think systems, they are more or less related to habits. And this is not only maybe from an individual perspective, but it's something that I believe it also affects organizations. Because in Zimbabwe, especially our entrepreneurs in Zimbabwe, the entrepreneurs who are running businesses on autopilot, they don't have systems in place. And they actually find that even building the culture of an organization, it's something that can even be habitual. Like I think there are very big organizations that are known in Zimbabwe to actually say, if you call the customer support line of this organization, you don't really get responded to.
That's
and
true.
It's something that is actually it's now cultural in that particular organization. So can you just maybe highlight how someone can actually build maybe good habits, like from a personal perspective, as well as even from a corporate perspective, to say that you're a leader, you want to instill good habits in your team. How do you approach that?
I think, thank you for that. Like good habits, sometimes they actually start on your personal, your morals, to say, if maybe you employ a beautiful lady, how are you going to handle that? Are you going to be stick with being a professional, or are now getting in love with someone who actually works for you? Yes, those things, they happen somewhere else, but I do feel that you are indisciplined. If you start maybe getting along with those people we have employed. So I want to say systems, sometimes they start on a personal level, and also they manifest into the business. And I also even say, like the discipline of you getting salary, that's people, they think that is very easy, but it is very difficult for you. You are the founder of the organization, you are maybe the majority shareholder, but you just live on a salary. Without maybe spending. Imagine your business has got 50,000. in the safe, there's 50,000 in the bank account, but we're just taking home 1,500. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So all those things now, they are the ones which actually create a certain system. It's not also easy. I know most of the owners of the business, there's no one who can ask you if you get it to work maybe at 9 a.m., maybe at 10 a.m. But what I want to say to you is start maybe getting to work at 7:30.
Yeah.
Be on time, because most of the people, the people we are leading, they are good followers. If you come to work early, most of the times they respond by also coming to work early, because they know that, no, I can't come late whilst the boss is already there. And if you come late, they also treat your clients, and they're going to be also late for meetings, because why? You as the leader, you're always late.
Which is very true and very important. Thank you so much for that insight. So we'll now go to our next segment, whereby we're actually looking at the questions that you have actually been asking the chartered vendor, Jerry. So these questions, basically we are looking through our social media channels. Any question that you actually raise is something that we'll be looking at, and then we'll actually be answering it in more detail. So remember, if you have a question, you can actually go to any of our social media pages. It's Jerry More Nyazungu. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Google My Business, any channel that is there. If you have something that is giving you a headache as a business person, please feel free to ask. So we're taking a short break, but tune in for the question segment. Okay, welcome back to us, Jerry, the chartered vendor. So we are now in our next segment where we are looking at the questions that you've been asking us. So to dive deep into the questions, here's our first question for today, from a lady. Unfortunately, she did not reveal her name, but here's the question. Hi Jerry, I'm a lady aged 46. I want to start a business, but I don't have the strength to get started because I feel I'm too old.
Okay.
It's quite interesting.
This is quite interesting. I think we had that question also when you're in radio and stuff. Okay, what I just want to say to you, Madam 46-year-old, I think 46-year-old, you are still very, very young. Judging from maybe we get into politics, 46 years old in politics, you'll be very, very young.
Just be getting started.
You're just getting started, and life begins at 40. So it means you're just 6 years old. So what I just want to tell you is follow your passion. If you've got something which you like, if you like cooking, start a business cooking. If you like baking, start a business which is related to baking. If whatever you like, fashion, etc., look around. There are opportunities in Zimbabwe. There are plenty of them. What you just need to do is to start. And start now. Don't be scared. Just start, and you can get into entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is open for everyone. You can just start your business right now. What you just need to do is, sometimes you don't need a lot of capital to start a business. That $5, that $10, that $20, I started off as a vendor, selling sweets and bananas. I didn't have a lot of money. I had a small capital, which I had, but I utilized it until I ended up growing that capital into something which was big. I ended up employing 4 people. It wasn't easy. It's a journey which is a bit painful, but what we just have to do is, whatever you have right now, start. Sometimes you don't also need money to start a business. You can even start a business, an idea. If you've got an idea which is okay, or if you've got a product which you know that it can be sold somewhere, and you know the supplier, sometimes it's a matter of negotiating with your supplier, and also when you deliver, you also negotiate with your customer. So when you deliver, you get a payment, then you give it to the supplier, and you take the profits. It means you're never using your money. Yeah. So you can get into business. You just need to be strategic. Start looking around. Zimbabwe is a land of opportunities. There are a lot of them. Just try anything. You can be successful and be unique. Most of the people, what we also do is trying to copy. Like, especially right now, I think almost everyone is now a runner. Everyone is now selling baby wear. At one point, everyone was doing potatoes, insects.
Yeah.
Then we'd also, I think there was when photocopying.
Yeah.
Then Zuta also came. So what I just want to say to you is, be unique. Yes, if you get into a business which is a red ocean, where we are saying there are a lot of businesses which are in there, you need a unique value proposition. You need to have that uniqueness which you have in, especially if you are a person who is good in relationships, who is good in building rapport with your clients. You're going to make money. So just start. Don't quit. Don't think that 46 years you're too old. You're still very young. What about if you're going to live up to 90 when you've given up at 46? So start right now.
Thank you so much for that. So you've heard it. Just start. I think there's also Colonel Sanders.
Yeah,
he was over 60 when he started KFC.
I think 65, thereabouts. Yes, that's when he started.
$1
billion company.
Yeah.
And maybe to come back home, yes, he's a politician, but I'll put him as an example.
Yeah.
You look at your Chino Timbers. I think at 45 thereabouts, he was just a security guard.
Exactly.
Yeah, at City Council, but where is he right now? He's been a member of parliament. I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
He has achieved a lot. He's also a businessman in his own right. He never given up.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to give up. Always strive to achieve those goals. So long if you're alive, you still have a chance.
Exactly.
The only person who doesn't have a chance is the one who is dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long as you're alive, you still have a chance. Here's our next question from Paul.
Yeah. Hi, Paul. Shout out to Paul.
I recently started my clothing business, and I've been at it for 1 year. The problem is I feel behind as most of my peers are advancing, driving cars, etc. And I just want advice on how I can catch up and boom as well.
Okay, thank you, Paul. I think there was need for a clarification there. Yeah. But anyway, let me answer the question as it is. Paul is saying his peers are now driving cars. What I want to say to Paul today is, what you are driving is not important, but what is driving you is what is important. Right. So when I say what is driving you is important, I'm saying, what's your vision? Where do you want to go? Is your goal do you want to just have a car for the sake of it? Yeah. Because some of the people, they are having cars, but in a way they're actually destroying their businesses. Because maybe they are spending working capital to buy cars, but their businesses are struggling a bit. So I would just say to Paul, be patient. Business is going to reward you. First year you haven't done anything. You look at, I'll just give you an example of businesses like Nyarazo. 2001, right now, I think they made their first significant celebration last year when they were 20 years old. Yes. You look at the journey. I think in 2010, 2009, we didn't even know of Nyarazo.
Yeah, which is true.
But it was 10 years, it was operating 10 years after in the market, but we didn't even know about it. But right now, it's not a big brand because they were setting up a foundation. So even in your first year of business, I don't think that you even set the foundation. I'll give us an example at MNJ. I think we're now 7 years old.
7 years, yeah.
But we say we are still now, maybe we've just finished the foundation. We're now starting to build the structure. Because it's not about having cars. It's not about having houses. Those things, you can get them. You can easily get them. That's if you're willing to put in sweat. That's if you're willing to put in hours. That's if you are willing to actually sacrifice all these fantasies of getting nice cars, your latest Range Rovers. So I just need to warn you, Paul. Don't be attracted to that to cars. Don't be attracted to your peers. Sometimes I think, Paul, you also need to change your friends.
Yeah. It is true. So you've heard it, Paul. You need to change your friends.
Yeah.
Which is number. And what is important, I think there's something that you said. It's profound to actually say what matters is what is driving you.
Exactly.
And one thing I think about entrepreneurship, it's tough.
It's tough, yeah.
It's tough. So if you're driven by motives like materialistic motives, that's when you say when you face the challenge, you easily give up.
Exactly.
And maybe
Exactly.
to go to our last question. This one seems interesting. Hi Jerry, it's from Tatenda, by the way. Hi Jerry, I've been wondering whether it's really possible to make it in Zimbabwe without any connections. What do I really need to do?
Okay, it's Tatenda.
Yeah,
Shout out to Tatenda. Anyway, okay, you can make it. Okay, maybe let us first define what's a connection. Because if I've got a contact, I think in the last shows I've said, the difference between a contact and a contract is a relationship. So I believe that I've got about more than 7,450 contacts thereabouts in my phone. I believe everyone who is in that phone book is my connection. Because if you are not going to make these kind of connections, there's no way you're going to make money. Maybe what he's saying is you need people who are influential in order for you to be to build a business, or in order. Yes, definitely you need them. Even in America. Just if you're a friend of maybe Donald Trump, are you going to suffer? If maybe your friend is Joe Biden, are you going to suffer? If your friend is Barack Obama, he ruled America for 8 years, do you think you're going to suffer? If your contact is Barack Obama and they've got something which you need in America, there's no way. So what I want to say to you is, Tatenda, to the contrary, maybe I was going to say, people are going to say, maybe you think I was going to say connections are bad, but I think connections are good. You need that connection. Be in a cycle where you know that you're going to start keeping people in your phone. When you've got a problem, you know that they're just a call away. If you're keeping, maybe I've got 7,450 people. Maybe of the 7,450 people, if I've got a problem, maybe which needs $5,000, and none of those people can give me $5,000, it means I'm carrying, I've got dead contacts. But when I've got a good contact, I can easily contact them. If I need 50,000, the 10 of them, they can easily give me 5,000 each without any problem. So you need to start building your network. There's no way you can make it in life without network. Even those, be it in arts, be it in soccer, if you're even a musician, for your music to be played on radio, you must know a DJ. There are very good musicians we have never gone on air. Because why? They didn't have exposure. They didn't have the contacts. Have you ever noticed that a son of a legend, even when they are not good, it's easy for them to if maybe they are journalists, it's easy for them to get into journalism. Because why? They're still saying his father was a legend. Music-wise, even if a son of a legend, if he starts playing junk music, people will still follow. They'll ride on their father's contacts. So they'll just say, no, we knew your father. We can play your music. So it's the same thing in business. If you don't have the right contacts, if you don't have the right connections, it's going to be very difficult for you to grow as a businessman or as a businesswoman. So Tatenda, start getting those connections, start going to the networking events, start attending those business seminars, get those important connections. You really need them in business.
Thank you so much for that. So I think there's this famous statement that actually says your network is your network.
It's a network.
And as you were speaking, I was actually thinking of this interesting relationship that was there between three men. One of them was actually Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford cars and everything. There was also Harvey Firestone, who actually found the Firestone Tire Company. And then we have the guy who manufactured the light bulb, Thomas Edison. Those three, they were very, very close friends. And you would actually find that Ford would make a car, Firestone would supply the tires, and then Edison would actually supply the lights. And they all died very rich. They were actually very, very rich. So you need a network that adds value. I think
recently also, shout out to Dr. Strive Masiwa. He was added into the Bill Gates Foundation. Do you think we're going to be, they'll add Tamuka or they'll add Jerry? No, they need a billionaire also.
They need a billionaire. Those guys, they play together.
They play together.
There's actually that says money attracts money.
Exactly.
And that's actually something that people need to be cognizant of, especially when it comes to building networks.
It's not like magnet and iron, whereby you say, like pose attract. No, in business, like pose attract.
It's very different.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching the show, and we really appreciate. So Jerry, maybe just to wind off the show, what would you like to say to our viewers?
What I just want to say to the viewers is, please guys, remember we are in Zimbabwe. I know that Zimbabwe is a difficult environment to operate from, but we don't need to give excuses. We have got a country with all the resources, with all the minerals, with all the opportunities. We've got problems right now, we've got potholes, we've got a lot of problems. And someone who's going to solve that problems, he's going to be a millionaire, he's going to be a billionaire. Just like what Dr. Masiwa did. So what we need to do is, guys, quit being crybabies. We need to start moving. Zimbabwe is a land of opportunity. Africa is a land of opportunities. We just need to change our mindset. Let us not think that there's going to be a savior who is going to come from somewhere. Right now, I just want to tell you that. Change your mindset, change your habits, then you can see you at the top. Because at the bottom, it's crowded.
It's crowded. See you at the top, at the bottom is crowded. And please remember, there's that button at the right, the red button that says subscribe. Just click on it and then click the bell icon. You get notifications whenever we upload a new video. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
Bye bye.
Bye for now.